come on. And what do you think what I tell them? What do you think what I told them? Yeah, it's great yesterday. Couldn't do anything different. Now, yeah, that's now really not for you. So, my God, we will not start that. Yeah. I hope it were the right things. It's not the first time in my life that I'm in a situation like this, so that might be helpful. Again, I think in situations like this, you have to 100% clear, not hiding behind anything, critical, 100% clear, but respectful as well. So, because it's just, I know that's always like this, that people are not really involved. They have the right and the possibility to go for them, for us. So all of a sudden they can be angry with us, and how can you do that, and stuff like this. Well, we don't see them, we don't meet them, we don't have to work together with them. So it means that's completely different when you work together. So, but clear, again, we don't go for excuses. That's normal. So we never did, we never will do, and so that was the Sunday.
Paul? Yeah, what did you do on your 2 days away from here to sort of improve your mood? Did you forget about it? You said you came back and left.
I cannot forget it. It's just 2 days later it looks different, so that's how it is. It's like nothing special. Nothing special. I was a lot on the phone, had a lot of things to do, but had time for a walk, long walk, which I didn't do for ages. A direction. Then I had the wrong shoes. I realized when I arrived there. Well, I was prepared for that. No, it was good. I think so. It settles. You think all the time about it, but it's like it starts with being really emotional directly after the game, because I hate losing. That will never change, and I know how you all thought about what I did in the press conference, stuff like this, but actually it was the lowest level of absolute lowest level of the aggression I had inside me. So because of course I was not happy with a lot of things what happened. There's not a reason for what happened. I just don't like if you go for the wrong people. Go for me, it's fine, really fine. You don't like my answers, you know the best. But go for me, that's fine. But don't go for other people, because they have nothing to do. They were much more influential in the good times than they are now, and that's just not fair. So now I go in that, and that's. You sit there, and and I didn't think before, and I see, oh, wow, and then it comes up, and then you react like you're. But really, I thought in the most respectful possible way. You might see that completely different, but for me, it was quite a stretch, and that's like the start of how you deal with the situation. You're going to drive home 2 hours or so. Nobody spoke a word. So it's like really bad day in the office, and then you go home next day in. Fine, and then do this up, and it's how the emotional level drops. And the moment the emotions drop, you can start thinking clear again. So that's it.
Obviously, there feels like there's been a lot of instability behind the scenes, maybe people leaving and people stepping away. But do you still feel positive for?
100%. Look, that's it. That's a completely normal reflex, and you know that as well. So we could go now through the 7.5 years. A lot of people left. A lot of people came in. It always worked out. We never spoke about it because, oh, you're coming in. Oh, that helps. Oh, that helps. And now we play bad football, and now you tell me it was because that makes no sense. It makes no sense. It's not. And the first one, if they would not be helpful or inspirational or whatever you want to call it, they would not be here. So I'm 100% clear on that. Nobody's here because my friend or whatever. Nobody. It will never happen. Was never the case and will never be the case. So they are here because they are best in class in what they are doing. So that's all. And others have good as well. That's clear. But again, if you praise them in the good times, then criticize them in the bad times. If you don't praise them in the good times, then don't do it in the lesser good times. Don't do that. Have the balls and go for me. And then the confrontation can happen, of course. And then I get an awful lot of money to face these situations. And my life is fine, but they all have a career after and stuff like this, and we start talking about them like they did this, they did that, and by the way, if I would listen to people who give me the wrong advice, it's again my fault, and not their fault, just to make sure. So that's what that really did, and I will not change in that department, to be honest. So just as a little warning. And I didn't even read it. That's the fun part. I didn't read, but it was so much spoken about that in the end I got aware of it, and that means then, oh, it's a subject, and when it's a subject that everybody's talking about, then I have to react. That's how it is, and that was all. So, and now you don't have a question anymore. You're afraid. You want to?
No, I actually do have a question. It's kind of related.
I will not answer. It's a joke.
I've seen a few things this week, and so it's only on Twitter, so it's not like super serious. But people
Does a sentence make sense when it only end Twitter is in a sentence?
Wondering whether you would walk away from this situation. Now, that's not the question, but people seem to forget that you've actually in your career had several spells, not loads and loads, but many spells of difficult times. And I just wonder about your own kind of mentality during that, because you're experienced in that, and people seem to forget that.
No, I don't think that people forget that, to be honest. But if I would have a look at it, I would say, okay, you had difficult spells, but always at the end of the time. So I mean, mine's not only. We had difficult times during the whole time, if you want. In Dortmund, it was probably in the beginning and in the end. So that's so I understand that people think that I will not and I cannot go. I'm responsible, too much responsibility, and I want it, and I want to sort it again. I said this is a difficult time. So, but it's a little bit like I don't enjoy it. But if we could show in this difficult time that even then, especially then, this club is so special because we believe in everything. People can, if people believe in me. Yeah, then we have to go through this together, because then we have to, when we come out, we will have great times again. Yes, and that's maybe the difficult times are now a bit too long already for me as well. And yours was a difficult season. We have 5-6 points more. We spoke about that already, and then it's still not a great season, but we can talk about Champions League stuff like this. Now we are that far away. Not even you ask me about it anymore, thankfully. And so that makes it really difficult. But I don't think about these kind of things. I'm here 100% committed, and at nothing. But I know as I said before, if we win, I feel like I was part of it. If we lose, I feel 100% responsible. I was always in my life like this, and you can imagine how big the responsibility then is in the moment. What I feel. So, and we will do absolutely everything to get through this and prepare the very positive future again. But I cannot change that we lost the gas game the way we lost it, and there's a difficult game coming up, and it's difficult times and stuff like this. Players coming back and everything. So, they can immediately, but they were out for a long time, blah, 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 all these kind of things. We have to stay calm and smart and do the right things in the right moment. And there's one moment when I'm really emotional, and that's after we lost the game, and you face me then. So, but apart from that, I'm completely clear and can do the job I always did, and are experienced enough to know that you can get through this. Because two things: when I left Mainz, it was a career step as well. So it's like, so we didn't make it, stuff like this. I knew a lot of interest, bam, bam, bam. When I left Dortmund, I was really exhausted in that moment. It was a lot, and I thought we have to change something, and blah, blah, blah. It was time to do something else. I'm neither nor in the moment, neither nor. I'm completely here. But I understand that people think, oh, look at that, 7 here, 7 there, nothing to do with it. The situation is difficult for different reasons, but this is not one of them.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.